welcome to the kitchen, Aimee Kelly.
I'm so excited! I've got 2 children and it's a sick joke that I don't know how to make a birthday cake.
That is a really common thing, like loads of people cannot do a birthday cake. Aimee asked to do Stickman and I tried to say Stickman's really difficult.
You try and put me off!
And, Willow, he's going to be 3 and it's his favourite character. So I was like, okay then. So before we do the baking, we're going to decorate the cake board. You want to tie it all together so the whole character's seen. It just looks more stylish.
Yeah.
Where's my Stickman book? What have I done with it?
This one.
Oh, it's under there. I thought I'm going to go for this kind of like yellowy colour, base colour, right? So that's going to be our base. This is just fondant or like ready to roll sugar paste. It gets called lots of different things.
Oh, wow.
Have you worked with this before?
No.
It's kind of like edible
There's
Play-Doh.
nothing today that I'm going to have had done already before.
Knead it so it becomes a bit warmer and more pliable. I lean my whole body weight into it.
Okay,
try
fine.
that again.
Yeah,
Almost
I
lean
like
onto
doing
it.
that.
Imagine you're going to...
Like that?
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the gym with this.
No. When you want to cover a round board, you just need to make it into a ball, push it down into a flat sort of like disc, then you get your icing sugar.
The sweat and blood that is going to go into this cake.
I just want to make my board a tiny bit damp, so I've got a tiny bit of water there because it's going to stick to the board. That's all you need because it's really sugary. I like to use these pastry guides so that when you roll it out, it's not going to be all lumpy and bumpy. It's going to be all the same thickness, so it looks nice and neat on your board or your cake.
You should actually read the caption because if I was watching this video, I would have assumed that that was flour.
Put your rolling pin in the middle and roll away from you. Put it back in the middle and roll towards you. Where people roll things out and it goes all odd shape and spidery,
You don't start in the middle.
it's kind of elongated. You turn it round, make sure it's got plenty of icing, and then start again. So into the middle, and then roll it away. And you use a lot of pressure. You can use your whole body leaning. See what I mean?
So you the middle.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Perfect.
So far, so good.
Yeah, see?
I just feel like anything I was about to do is going to be like the textbook thing of when people do it wrong, like make it all lumpy.
Definitely. So just make sure you've got plenty.
More.
Turn it again and do it, and turn it around that way and do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Same way.
Yeah. I'll just finish it off. But you see what I mean? You get the general idea.
Like, let the professional finish it off.
I'm rushing it through because we've got a lot to show you. So roll it
Oh,
out.
that's what you're using it for.
See, it's against the sticks. So now it's foolproof.
That's what they're actually going on top of it.
Yeah. We'll make sure, is it big enough for the board? Yes, it is, okay? You can literally just do this and put it on for a cake board. Just lift it on, press it to kind of make it nice and smooth. Okay. So like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's like an iron.
All you need to do now is just trim off the excess. And have you ever made pies before and you do pastry?
No, but it's like Lady and the Tramp, like.
Yeah, so you just go like that.
Okay, yeah.
And just cut it down. There you go.
I mean, yours is precise.
So you're just going away from you. That's it, that's it.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's okay. So almost pushing towards the centre of the board with your knife. You see what I mean? You're pushing down inwards.
Okay, am I using too much force?
No, what you're doing, keep your knife completely upwards, like at 90 degrees, like that. So I'm pressing on the board, see? That's it.
I'm under so much pressure.
See?
This is
last
like
little bit. Perfect. See where there's a kind of bit there? I'll just use my smoother again, just to kind of push it to the edge like that.
Oh, I see.
Just to kind of make it neat. But that's it. So do that. So something to say to you now.
Just walk up.
You're going to be overwhelmed if you try and do it all at once.
Yeah.
It might take a good few hours, but it doesn't have to be all on the same day. You can do that the day before, a week before, leave it somewhere dust-free just to dry off. We're just going to clear down and we'll come back and do the baking sponge. So if you chuck in the golden caster sugar, Aimee, into
all
there,
of it.
so all of it in, those kids are going to be loving this.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the spreadable butter can go in. So it does look like a lot, but we're actually going to make 3 cake layers. Brilliant. So all you need to do is cream it. So we'll just turn that on.
I've never used one of these before. Oh my god.
So once you've got all the sugar incorporated, you just want to...
Is this the best one?
Yeah, I love the Kenwood ones. So it looks lovely in the kitchen. You can do a decent sized amounts of doughs, batters. So you said before when you made a cake, it went wrong.
I've made a few cakes and they've all went a bit wrong.
Did they? What happened? What were they like?
I made like a coffee cake, which was like, it was going to be like, it looked like the most insane thing ever. And I was like, I'll make this for my husband. He'll love this. Honestly, as soon as I put like the buttercream bit on, it all just like sank I'm so scarred from that whole experience.
I get what you mean.
Like, I'm never baking a cake again. But now I've got children.
Yeah.
I have to revisit that.
Definitely, because my first few cakes I did were rubbish. They come out like biscuits. So it's really important to cream your butter and sugar until it goes really lovely and pale and fluffy. So you can see now it's getting smoother, it's getting lighter in colour.
Yes.
I'm going to put some vanilla paste in there. This is a nice one because you've got all the vanilla seeds, just a bit of flavour. You can't really go wrong with that. We're going to use self-raising flour in this mixture. I do like to add a little bit of extra baking powder for a bit more rise and a tiny touch of sea salt. Not a lot, it just helps balance the flavour. Okay. Mix all that through.
Make sure that's in. Yeah.
Turn this down onto a low speed. And we're going to put the eggs in. So, you know, if you sort of like crack it straight in, it's got a bit of shell.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's a bit of a pain, so pop that in.
Just one at a time.
One at a time. Mix them in till they're nicely incorporated so it doesn't kind of go chunky and curdly. See the difference in the colour of these? Because this is like the different hems.
Yeah, but do you know what? They're so good. You can really taste the difference with those.
The Clarence
we always use them.
Yeah, they're the best. So we're going to do 9 eggs. Oh, you got a shell there.
That would have went straight into the cake.
It would.
The kids would have been like, mine's crunchy.
I know, I don't like that when you eat an egg mayonnaise sandwich and you get the shell in it or something, or a bit of sponge cake. It does sort of like throw you off. It
ruins it.
I know there's nothing wrong with it, but
it ruins it. Oh no, I've got another bit of shell.
It's right down there. But
she knows
using the other bit of shell is much easier. See, it clings. Is it still in there? There we go. So now we're just going to add the self-raising flour.
Yes. So are you doing that gradually?
I'm just going to do it in 2 halves. Just keep it on a slow mix, and that's just folding it through. It looks all chunky at the moment, but we'll just turn up the speed at the end just to kind of, I've got 3 cake tins. It's really important to put baking paper around the sides and in the bottom of the tin.
Maybe that's where I went wrong.
Did you not do that?
Coffee cake.
So that's all mixed in now. See how that's gone? So that's it. Turn it off.
When you say we don't want any lumps and bumps, I'm like, yeah, no, we don't want any lumps and bumps, but that's definitely
what you
get
that
would
before.
have made.
Where's the scales gone? Hang on. If you're going to bother doing a really nice cake,
let's not eyeball it for today while I'm involved.
So I get the scales and I'm going to weigh 600 grams into each tin. So 635. And it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't need to be to the gram. So we've got 593 in there. Perfect.
Fine. Oh my god, it smells so good. Okay, so that's 599 will do.
So you see how I'm just literally spreading it out to the end of the tin like that.
Spoon. Shall I do the other one?
Yes.
So therapeutic to do that.
It's nice, isn't it? So let's pop them in. Alexa, set cake timer 15 minutes. They'll take about 20 to 25 depending on the temperature. But I like to check them after 15 because sometimes I just move them around. So I'm just going to show you my really easy basic buttercream recipe. I use double the quantity of icing sugar to butter. It's literally a case of whipping up the butter till it becomes soft first of all. Just on slow. Let's whip it up. And you'll notice it will go a bit lighter.
Yeah.
See? Again, I like to use the bean paste in something. Yeah.
That's so satisfying.
Yeah.
I think people are like overwhelmed as well by the idea of making a cake. It has so many different components. You're like, oh, I can't go near that because, like, how could I know how to make buttercream?
I was really lucky. My Auntie Carol used to make all my birthday cakes for me. She'd do all sorts of amazing ones. And I always wanted to be that mum that could create those lovely cakes for my kids. And you know, there's a lot of competitiveness, isn't there? Like in the playground, you know, and parties.
Oh my god. Yeah, but also I feel like me and my husband like fall on the spectrum of like the younger, because there's like an age gap. I'm like, oh, they think that like we're the young ones or something.
I know. It's
you know what I mean?
It? Yeah.
So I'm going to learn how to make a cake.
And now you'll be showing off your So you could just put the whole in thing at once when you've got a stand mixer, but I do like to kind of get it in gradually and just make sure it's really creamy. That might be our sponges. Alexa, stop. So you see?
Now they to me look done.
So they look done, but they're not. Put the finger in. It's not rising back.
Or am I going to ruin it?
Can do, yeah.
Oh, fine.
So it's still wet inside. They'll take a few more minutes, and I've now turned that temperature down about 20 degrees. So I'm not going to carry on browning the cake. It's just going to cook it in the middle.
Yes.
Just dump that in there. Fine. Once that's mixed in, we'll turn up the speed. It looked quite chunky, so we'll just let that whip for a couple of minutes, and then I'll be done. So let's have a look at these sponges. They should be done now. Already you can see
that made
to shrink away from the edge. So just pop that in the middle. Yeah.
That one's got a little bit, but that's
so yeah, that's because you can see if it's a little bit, that's going back in for a minute because you don't want to undercook a vanilla sponge. Alexa, set timer 1 minute. So that's done.
That one's fine.
You can tell because that one still had a bit of a dough. We'll just leave those in the tin for 5 minutes because they're a bit breakable, and then I like to turn them out of the tin, leave them on a rack, remove the paper and let that sort of moisture just evaporate so they kind of be nice and light and spongy. Sponges are cool. Now it's time to fill the cakes. This is a cake leveler.
Wow.
Looks like a big cheese wire. So do you want to have a go at doing that?
Yeah.
So you just literally trim off some of the excess. Any offcuts, if you've got kids or whatever, you can sprinkle with some ice cream, make little trifles, make cake pops.
I remember coming to your old house and you came in late from somewhere and you had these bags and bags of like sponge cakes and you were like, give some of that to Aimee to take home, give some of that to Aimee to take home. And I remember going home to my house and I was like eating this full bag of cake just in the back of an Uber.
That's the thing, ever since the kids are small, like, they always have their friends on. I love being a bit of a feeder. When I used to have my bakery...
You're a feeder,
yeah. I am a massive feeder. When I had my bakery, it was kind of in between their school and home.
Oh,
so they'd always come via my bakery with their friends, just come in, bowl in with their backpacks, can we have some cupcakes? And they're just, all their friends would just have the cupcakes.
Oh, that's amazing.
They're probably quite popular for that.
Yes, for sure.
So we've got an 8-inch cake board, because that's going to sit on there, which means we can lift it on and off the board, put it onto our pre-iced board we've made earlier. Great to have a turntable if you can, just because it helps you to get around the cake. I'm just going to put a little bit of buttercream on here, because this is going to hold it all centrally when it goes in the fridge. Okay. It will all make sense as you see it come together. A bit more buttercream. Baseboard on there. When I actually start to apply the buttercream to the cake, I soften mine up with boiling water, so it's easy to spread. So get your mixer on the go, let that drizzle in, have a feel of the mixture, how much softer it is.
Oh yeah, the difference in that.
So I'll do the first one, and then you can do the second layer.
Let's do it.
Okay. First sponge.
It's like moussey now.
Yes, exactly. Do a thin layer of jam. Just literally to impart a bit of flavour.
For sure, yeah.
The next layer that's going on, I'm going to put it like that. So I'm going to turn it over and put a bit more jam on that bit. Blob some of your soft buttercream into the middle of your cake, and you'll be surprised you actually need quite a lot.
Okay.
And I just go side to side like this, just spreading it. So that's going to come kind of quite
It's all in the wrist. I've eaten so many of your cakes and I've not seen you actually in action.
Then goes on the second layer. Make sure it's kind of looks in the middle-ish, and then you give it a bit of a push. Okay. So now it's time to add some thin jam on here.
Yeah. You just need a thin layer.
That's it. So you can use a lot more pressure than you'd think. You can really push it in.
Oh, I like the spinny.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the bit that makes me nervous, not the jam.
Don't be nervous, just go for it, just be confident. Plop it on, that's it.
Dollop it on, you said.
Yeah.
And then I'm just doing...
No, stop. Another plop. So now you can do the sort of spreading
I remember.
like that.
Okay, it's all on the wrist.
Yeah, so, and again, you can be quite firm.
I know, but I am scared of this bit.
Don't be scared. Have your other hand here.
If you can't see your body stance right now.
But you do, keep it nice and flat, that's it.
Position that you were in.
Can I hold your hand? Just
go.
So feel what I'm doing.
Okay. See? You've got some force in that.
Bit of force, yeah. Okay. See? You can put lift up your sponge, turn it over, and plop it on top.
Are you sure I should do this
Yeah,
bit?
definitely. No, it won't. Yes. See?
Ah!
You did it. My panic knife, when I'm working on the side, it's now vertical. It's all about the angles, okay?
Yes.
I'm sweeping it round, I'm using pressure, and I'm spreading that in between the gaps. So are you all right using that hand? That's it. And there you go. See?
Keep it flat.
Yeah. And we will use more buttercream in it, but this is just doing the first bit.
Okay.
See? Building it up. So I like to take some buttercream, press it on, and I just spread it like that. That's it. There you go. Brilliant. That's it. Yeah. So you're using quite a lot, which is brilliant, and they get spread off at the end. You're doing a great job on that.
That's not allowed to go back in the jug.
No.
Because it's crummy, guys.
That's it.
It's crummy.
Nice and firm pressure. Perfect. Love it. Brilliant. Using more pressure than you'd imagine. That's it.
Yeah.
See? See how much it looks straight already? I'm just going to go around one more time just to take that edge off that a bit.
Oh, she did it in one go.
Maybe you have got basket rich in.
Oh, yeah.
Have I?
You have.
Oh my God,
Only
what?
there.
Have I actually?
So the way to do the top, spreading that into the middle, the excess. Let's put that. We only want a thin layer. Same way we did in the middle, just a thin layer to cover that top of the sponge. And then take the knife off. That's it, that's it, that's the sweep you want.
Yeah.
If you want to be really, really neat, these are brilliant.
You just shape it.
Yeah, and you just kind of like, see, that's it. That needs to chill now for at least half an hour to an hour. Whilst that's chilling, we're going to make our decoration elements for Stickman. You can actually order edible images online. This is edible icing. We're doing kind of like sweet little kind of scrapbook cutouts of the characters that we're going to put onto your buttercream cake.
Yes.
So this is the icing, same as we use for the board, but it's just white.
Again, if I was watching this, I would have thought that was flour.
Would you?
It's not, it's icing sugar.
For doing edible images, you want to roll it out to a thickness of about sort of 2 to 3 millimetres. So now twist it round. Yeah. You don't need to worry too much for, so you flipped it over. That's okay.
Oh my God, no.
No, but that's okay.
Well, that's supposed to.
It's okay because we're doing edible images, but if you're covering a cake, never turn it over because it dries it out and it goes all cracky.
Oh
No, but
I was getting really into it there.
Yeah.
Like a pizza dough or something.
Use a tiny bit of water. It's time to put on the images. So you just peel it off like that.
Easy.
That's it. Pop it on there. Brilliant. This can all just be reused. Even though it's got water on it, it's fine. The best way to do this is with a small pair of craft scissors. And I quite like to have a little edge. One of the questions I like to ask people when they come and do bake it with is, do you remember when you were a kid, like your best ever birthday cake?
So I'm a twin, so we always had, I always shared my birthday cake. I always shared my birthday, which I always liked.
That's nice, you liked it at least.
Yeah, but when you get older, obviously, when you have, especially like if you have your own family and like children and stuff. So now I get my own cake, and I'm like, oh my God, a birthday cake for me. I remember my grandma used to bake cake.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, my mum never baked cakes, but my grandma always did, and she used to let us lick the
that's nice.
bowl.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the taste of it.
Yeah, oh, that's nice.
Funny?
So we're clear down, and then we'll bring our chilled cake back and do the second coat, okay? For doing the second coat, you do a similar thing. We've got the palette knives, we're using the same angles. Lob on a quite generous amount.
It's getting serious.
See, already looking better, see? Yeah. So now I'm going to use my side scraper and I'm going to put it under the hot tap because I want to make it warm so it just slides off a bit more and doesn't take off too much buttercream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bit of green, a little bit on there. This is called a watercolour effect. So for the cloudy sky, just a few blobs of blue on there. And then now hot, damp scraper. You want to try and do this in one go. Oh wow. Yeah. So now it's ready to put on its board and bring it to life. So we'll just clear away and we'll come back with all of the elements and we'll stick it together. Got a little bit of white buttercream here. A little bit on here, not too much. Just watch it pop off. Bosh.
Yes.
See? Hidden board under there. We're just going to have it all central and then we're going to put our bits and pieces on and then we're going to have our message for Willow on there. So we'll have tree, stickman, dogs coming round from the back. So
like that?
So use a little bit of buttercream as glue. So
I'm getting nervous at this.
So I'm all shaking myself, look. There.
Which is the new trick that I've learned today.
There you go.
Okay, it's got a bit of a floppy
Yeah, that's it.
About there?
Yep. Ooh, there you go.
Is that definitely going to stay?
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit of buttercream.
Love it. So Aimee, obviously I've seen you in so many TV shows. Obviously I've known you for a long time. You've been acting for ages. I watched Hijacked.
Oh yeah.
How good was that?
Yeah.
What was it like filming that show?
It was supposed to be 7 months and it actually ended up taking 8 months. But Willow, who this cake is for, he was on that job with me.
Really?
Yeah, he came with me when he was really young, like 5 weeks old.
I can't imagine that, having a 5-week-old baby and then having to go and be there with a gun, like taking down all the
it was such a juxtaposition because I was like breastfeeding in the trailer and then gun on set and then, you know, it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
It was crazy actually. It was a really good job. I made such good friends and we had such a good time.
Just now there.
So nice, so there. I'm so nervous to do this.
Go on, do it. You're doing it. This is the thing. Look, now you're doing it.
Voila!
What's Willow going to say when he sees this?
He's going to lose his mind.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's going to, Mummy, tree.
You know we had the green buttercream earlier?
Yes.
I put it into a piping bag with a grass nozzle, just to kind of do some tufty grass so that then joins your cake to the board and it becomes one seed.
Yes,
right?
I love it.
Have a go at that.
Yeah.
What's your favourite ever acting job that you've ever done?
It's difficult because for me it's not like it's not about just the script or like, you know, how the project ends up being received or how well it does or how successful it is. It's usually like the memories that I have at the time or the friends that I made.
Yeah.
But I did a movie a few years ago called The Duke. It was a Roger Michelle film. I made one of my best friends on that film.
Oh.
And I think that it will always hold
special.
And
yeah, that's
nice. In my heart that I think was really nice.
Right, let's get the grass on. Have a go at that. So that's just kind of giving you a nice little bit of texture. Of course, you need to have Happy Birthday Willow. You need to like write your message.
Yes.
Saying Happy Birthday Willow with buttercream. Okay.
I'm gonna ask you to do that.
Do you want to do it?
No, I'm terrified of doing that. Definitely not.
Why did you choose the name Willow? Is it because of the film with the?
Oh my God! I had an actor say that to me on set, and they're like, "Is it Willow because of Willow?" Yeah. And I was like, "I haven't even seen Willow."
It's a brilliant film.
I know. We had so many girls' names. Then we found out we were having a boy, and we didn't like any boys' names. And then it was my husband that said, "What about Willow?" He was like, "It can be a boy's name." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love it. It's called."
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So we're going to add a bit of texture. And just kind of go like that, and just do some sort.
I would never.
And then just kind of go, just a bit of sort of like.
Oh, like a crumble.
See? And in between the patches, I can do the odd little bit of grass, just to kind of...
Yes, break it up.
Yeah. Measure around your cake board. This is the icing on the cake, you know what I mean? It just makes it look professional. So the best way to get that on, if I just use Pritt sticks, it's not actually touching the cake. Start at the back of the cake, obviously, because you don't want the join where the writing is.
What was your favourite one that you've done for any of them?
George had a favourite toy, which was this like flat Eric thing, you know, the yellow sort of like the yellow one with the mouth.
Oh right.
And I did one for him like that, which looked identical, and he loved it. It looks really good, doesn't it?
It looks insane. Wow. Imagine being 3 and having that as your birthday cake.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Everything you need to make your own stickman cake is just down there in the caption, and you can create any character you want. So let me know when you make one. Bye.
Woo, bye. Oh my gosh, guys.